Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back for another week of Just a Fan Podcast. I am your one quarter host of the show, the one who they call the NFL Encyclopedia, the Wildcat quarterback of this whole thing, Brandon Williams. This way, representing Swisher House Remix, coming straight out of H-Town, Eric Pando 316 right. Down below is the quarterback of this entire operation. And I'm not gonna go there yet, but he is the man, the myth, and the legend himself. Tristan TV, what's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on?
All right, so gentlemen, we have some stuff to talk about from week 3.
We sure do.
So let's jump into the Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills game. Eric, let's start with you. What do you what are your thoughts on that game, man?
Well, so first of all, that was a test because like we watched the Dolphins play pretty good football for 2 weeks. And it was like, okay, yeah, you know what? Same old Dolphins, da. We gonna see when they gotta play the Bills. We know that the Patriots ain't that special. Week 2, let's see who they have. They played they beat the Ravens. Yeah. So the people were saying, hey, that's a fluke. Then they turn around this week. I picked against them. They beat the Bills, who, let's be honest, the Bills had been running roughshod for the first 2 weeks of the season on everybody they played. They were dominant for the first 2 weeks of the season. So I picked against the Dolphins because I like the Bills, man. They acting a fool. But they beat the Bills. So now it's time that we really need to start looking at and being serious about this Miami Dolphins team. They are running a scheme with this new head coach who's an offensive genius, and I'm going to get into that later, but he's exposing another coach that he left. As we're starting to see that he was the real brains of it all now. We're really starting to see that offensively where he was before. We're going to segue into that later. But Mike McDaniel is doing a job. It is a quarterback-friendly offense. So Tua doesn't have to do too much, but when the shots are there, he's able to take them. Basically, it's high percentage passing, running the ball. You got a freaking 4x100 relay team for your backs and receivers on this team. Bunch of fast guys. And they're playing small ball, draws the defense in, and then they just start taking shots because now they got the guys that can get out there and catch those shots. Tyreek Hill, just Waddle, those guys like that. So the defense is just adequate enough to hold people down because the offense can score. The offense can move the ball. And I was thoroughly impressed watching Miami against the Bills. They beat 2 credible teams in a row. They beat the Ravens, who's a very good team, and they beat the Bills, who was running roughshod on everybody else. Now, do I think the Bills just hit a bump in the road? I think they're still a very good team, which gives Miami more credibility because I don't think the Bills are trash. So that just gives more credibility to Miami. I think it's more about Miami and less about the Bills this week, but it was definitely a shocker. And we need to start looking at Miami more seriously. Tristan?
There's another team that probably wishes they had this McDaniels and not the McDaniels they got, but we're going to talk about that team later on in the show.
I know a team that wish they still had Mike McDaniels, but we're going to get into that in a minute.
For sure. But going into talking about Mike McDaniels, man, masterful job. Listen, I tell people all the time, I am not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. Okay, if I'm wrong. And not necessarily that I was wrong, but I was very doubtful. First year head coach, kind of young. I wasn't too sure, you know what I'm saying, like how he was going to, act and deal with being a first time head coach, but he's making that Dolphins team look like believers, man. And shout outs to the GM. I mean, look what he was able to do. Uh, Revamp the offensive line. You got a stable of running backs that are quality. You brought in an offensive mind that's creative, and you brought in Tyreek Hill to pair with Waddle. I mean, you're talking about, probably the fastest wide receiving duo in the league. And you still got Gesicki at your tight end, and they're finally utilizing him as the weapon that he is, coming out of Penn State. So, they can just keep building off of this. I mean, I think they still got multiple picks for next year's draft. I think them and the Eagles they've put themselves in prime position to be a force to be reckoned with for the next few years.
They can only get better.
So, Tua looks more and more confident every single week as the weeks are going. He looks more confident. It shows you what it looks like when a coach believes in you genuinely. Even though Tua has his own limitations, I always felt from the moment he got drafted, he never really got a fair shake as far as the coaching wise. And it's not a shot at Brian Flores at all. I just don't feel like he got someone that really believed in his skill set of what he can do. He is not the fastest. He doesn't have the biggest arm, but he can be accurate. He can anticipate, and you got to put him in position to do so. And you got to have the kind of team to allow him to be like that. And he does now.
We just lost your sound, Tristan.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I think you just muted yourself.
Okay. I've never lost your sound, Tristan.
I think we just lost Brandon.
Huh? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Brandon. So that means it's you, Eric.
I can hear you, Eric.
And I can hear Eric. Can you hear now?
So it must be on. Hold on.
Okay, we're experiencing technical difficulties.
Give us a second. Brandon, put in the private chat for Eric. I'm gonna keep talking, but
I got you. Go ahead.
Eric's in, but with the Dolphins, and where they are right now, they are truly the force to be reckoned with in regards to their overall production with the AFC. And you see the change of guard. It is now the AFC. It's now Buffalo, Miami, then the Jets, and then the Patriots. Honestly, and I think that's the one. I think that's what I had before the season started, just based on what they did in the off season. So that's what I'm looking at now. Eric, you got us now? You back? Okay, so I'm gonna say what I just said just now, because remember we made these picks in the divisional. Y'all go check out our YouTube channel if y'all missed it. Our divisional orders that we did before the season started. I know
we had to pass last.
Yeah,
we had to pass last.
Yeah, I think I said
it was 8 different videos.
Bills, Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots.
Yeah,
well,
I think we agreed on that.
But I think that was it. So we're seeing it come to fruition.
I think I had it in my notes here.
I know, yeah. I know you better fact check it, but I believe that's what it is. But listen, I actually look forward to what I haven't been this excited watching the Dolphins since Ricky Williams was running the football for the Dolphins. To be quite honest,
man, that was the Wildcat days.
Even before then.
Yeah, that's true.
When he had the dreadlocks.
And I can say this about that offense, knowing a lot about that offense from where he came. That offense made an extremely mundane and below mediocre quarterback look decent. And Tua Tagovailoa is better than that. So when you have a quarterback with a little bit more ability in that offense, it pops. That offense pops. So that's what we're seeing in Miami. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine today who's a Miami Dolphins fan. Shout out to Ed Sylvain. But he was like, hey, man, what do you think about this? And I said, now, are they going to stumble? Yes, They're going to lose some games that they're not supposed to lose sometime during this season.
Absolutely.
But are they going to be a better team than we thought that they were going to be? Absolutely. Because right now, the preseason pick for that division is Buffalo, and they just beat them. Now, is Buffalo going to come back at them hard later in the season? Absolutely. And it's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm going to be sitting there right front row of my popcorn because that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
But Miami is not anything to play with, which talks about teams that we thought weren't going to be as good that are better than we thought they were going to be this season. Miami's at the top of the list. I thought they were going to be above average, but what we're seeing from them this season is impressive. It's above expectations. It's above expectations.
I agree with that.
Yeah. We can segue and talk about, we can go into the next segment talking about teams that are better than we thought they were going to be, and then teams that we thought were going to be pretty good and not as good. And we can segue and call it our panic or no panic, and our oh wow, segment. And for my oh wow team, for my personal opinion, besides Miami, we already talked about them, but the Jacksonville Jaguars, are way better than what we thought they were going to be. And I can just say this, and I think we're all in agreement here. What a difference a coach makes. What a difference coaching makes.
Definitely. There's a big difference between Urban Meyer and
Doug
Peterson. Yep.
Absolutely. We're seeing things that we didn't see last year. We're seeing more disciplined football being played. We're seeing smarter throws. We see a more poised Trevor Lawrence.
For sure.
Travis Etienne coming back from that injury he missed all last year. That adds extra spark from the backfield because he's a dual threat. He can actually split wide and go run routes, but he's also an effective runner of the football when you add him with James Robinson. So you got a 1-2 punch in that backfield. You got some receivers who are not household names, but are pretty good guys like Laviska Shenault and slipped my mind. I was mid-thought and it slipped my mind. Overpaid. Christian Kirk. But he's good enough. He's good enough in that offense. I still think he's overpaid, but that's another story.
When I look at the team, let me just read off the numbers for you. The number one pick. Still don't believe it's a generational talent, but he is proven of why he was selected number one. My man is so far through 3 games now?
3
games. 69.4% of his passes, 772 yards. Is averaging about 260 per game, 6 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Wow.
That's good numbers. That's what you should be able to ask from your second-year quarterback.
Yes.
Who was drafted first overall.
Yes.
So yeah, and the defense is actually it was good. It was good last year. It's better now. You added Lloyd, the linebacker from Utah. He's flying around there making plays. I forgot back on offense. There was another piece that they added on offense that really helps Trevor Lawrence out, and that's the addition of Evan Ingram.
Yes, tight end, definitely.
Tight end. So
a veteran tight end is I said it last week on the podcast. A veteran tight end is always the best friend of a young quarterback.
And we could be witnessing Evan Ingram begin to make the type of plays we were expecting of him when he was drafted by the Giants. We never got a chance to see him do.
Well, they never gave him a quarterback to be able to give him the ball.
That part.
And they had a terrible general manager.
That part right there. Now, the only thing that can hold the Jacksonville Jaguars back at this point is the general manager, because Trent Baalke is their general manager.
All time.
Unfortunately. So if Trent Baalke just steps back and lets Doug Peterson run things, he can stand back and look good, even though he didn't do nothing. Because basically they have a well put together team. And this AFC South is something to look at because, like you were saying earlier, Brandon, The AFC South, what was it, 3-0 against the West last week?
Yeah, this past weekend, the AFC South is 3-0 versus the AFC West, which was amazing because you had hold on, let me go back to the games. I'm trying to remember. Oh, the Colts beat the Chiefs. I know that.
Who beat the Chiefs?
Right.
Let me see. Who else?
Scores. Come on.
Is that the correct stat? Who beat the Raiders last week?
The Raiders lost to
the Titans.
Titans.
Beat the Titans.
Right.
AFC South.
And then the Jaguars crushed the Chargers.
That's noteworthy. Because again, I need to see it again from the Jaguars, but that is definitely noteworthy because we were talking about how the AFC West was going to be one of the best divisions in football, and right now, and we were also saying that the
Correction, we were saying that the AFC West was the best division. Now you're trying to change it up again, Eric. Stop switching it up.
But here's the thing: are they now? Exactly.
Good question.
Exactly.
That's
as of right now. So you can say what you want to say, but I said arguably the best on the offseason. No. And I said arguably.
You know what you want to say originally.
But it's week 3, and look what happened.
I know.
The division in the AFC, the division in the AFC we said was going to be the weakest, just went 3-0 against what you were saying was the best division in football.
No, you were saying it too because you said it.
That was a Freudian slip. And anyway, I said arguably, and now look.
Actually, you know who's the best division right now? And you're going to hate me saying this, but just going off of record, you can say the NFC East.
I knew you was going to say that.
It's the best, followed by the NFC North.
So the East doesn't have a lot of quality wins.
And you're right. And that's the only reason why I'm not going to truly say that. I'm not going to sit on that. Because, like you said, there's not too many quality wins.
Now, is only
I think right now it's a little too early to say like who's really truly the best division.
Well, right now, as I say, it's extremely early.
Yeah, it is early. It's early. So, I think by Halloween, we really gonna know something.
Right. Now, teams that are not as good that we think as they were, probably I would say is my team is the the Las Vegas Raiders. They're not as good as we thought they were going to be.
No, not at all. Them being 0-3 is horrific.
Yep. So that's not a good look. They are the only winless team in the NFL at this point.
Yes.
Let me take a look at something.
Yeah, the Raiders with Josh McDaniels as head coach. We thought he had learned his lesson from what happened in Denver. He went back to New England to kind of redeem himself. He had the problem with the Indianapolis Colts when it came to the hire. He was hired and he pulled back at the last second.
Mm-hmm.
He took this Vegas job, and we thought that saying, hey, with the system that you're bringing over from New England to the Raiders, you got your slot receiver, you got your tight end, but now you have a running back who can be a bell cow running back, and you also have an anchor wide receiver. You should be able to take this offense to the next level, and so far that has not happened.
And got weapons.
Yeah.
And got weapons.
I mean, weapons galore.
Yeah, and that's if it doesn't get much better, man, he could be on the hot seat. Because there's not really an excuse for them to be winless at this point.
I mean, there's 3 games that have been played. You paid Devontae Adams all that money. He's only had 17 receptions for 189 yards. Now, he has 3 touchdowns, but then he's also had 34 targets, which means him and Derek Carr ain't clicking. Derek Carr is 60% of completed passes. And he has 6 touchdowns, but he also has 4 interceptions through 3 games.
So him and Devontae not clicking because it seems like they're clicking on half the passes. So Adams' numbers can be way better if he completes, because if he's at, say, 17 out of 34, if you bring that number up to about,
I got something to add to that about
if you bring that up
Devontae.
about 27, 28. You said what?
Those numbers he got right now, that's 1 game with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. So I have something to add with that as to why Devontae Adams probably is not getting the production that he's supposed to have.
Talk to him.
And when he was in Green Bay, they moved Devontae Adams all over the place. He was X, he was Y. Sometimes he come out the slot.
Mm-hmm.
They moved him around to create mismatches for such a dangerous weapon as what he was.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch the film on the Raiders games, he's X. That's it. He's X. And I'm like, you're not creating Josh McDaniels. You're not creating mismatches to make it easier for Devontae Adams to get the ball. You got to get the ball in the hands of your weapons. You got to figure out ways to move him around. If you put Devontae Adams in the slot against a slot corner, he's going to win 90% of the times. You know, if you move him over to the Z position, he's going to win that. You know, they can roll coverage over and everything, but now you got Hunter Renfrow, who basically is the prototype slot receiver in that offense, because Josh McDaniels' offense caters to the slot receiver more than anything. And guess what? Because it caters to the slot receiver more than anything, it's time to move Devontae Adams into the slot. Not the entire game, mind you, but you got to move your weapon around to where he can make the most difference in the game. And his numbers are not adding up. And I don't think that David Carr is the issue. I saw a comment earlier. I didn't see. Could you put that back up, Brandon?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't think it's Carr either.
I don't think Carr is the issue. Oh, hey, honey. Carr is not the issue. These guys played in high school and college together?
And college.
No, not high school, but college. Because Derek Carr played in Houston. He went to Fort Bend Clements. It's not the issue. That their chemistry is not the problem. It's scheme. And Josh McDaniels was brought in because he's an offensive mastermind, quote unquote, air quotes. So when you have these type of weapons and you're supposed to be an offensive mastermind, which is going to lead me into another team I'm about to get on later, you're supposed to be able to move your weapons around where they can be the most productive, not doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the main reasons why the Raiders are 0-3 at this particular point.
Oh, definitely. And then, no one's mentioned the tight end Darren Waller, who, when healthy,
yes, go ahead.
Easily a top 4 tight end when he's healthy.
Absolutely.
And look, this offense also predicates itself on tight ends as well. So them being 0-3 schematically is you have an anchor receiver, you have a slot receiver, you have a tight end, you have a bell cow running back. I mean, Josh McDaniels needs to sit down and figure this out fast.
But the defense also isn't playing up to the billing. I mean, we were so hyped that they got Chandler Jones over there. Defense only has 2 sacks total as a team. And
see, I wouldn't expect that because you had, like I said, Chandler Jones. He was brought in to help out Max Crosby.
Yeah, you got 2 bookend pass rushes. You should be applying way more
through
pressure.
3 games. It shouldn't be 2 sacks.
No, not at all. Chandler Jones, both of them should have at least 2 sacks in one game. At least.
A piece. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. So the Raiders, can they right the ship? Yes. But is it cause for concern?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, my team that needs to hit the panic button right now, You know, I think y'all know who I'm finna say. My team that's about to hit the panic button. That needs to hit the panic button.
The 49ers?
The 49ers. They need to hit the panic button. Okay? For all those reasons we talked about before.
I think
all
the
of this
Chargers
comes
more
in
so the
because
49ers
Mike
need to hit the
McDaniels
panic
is
button.
basically at this point is showing that he was the brains behind the offense of the 49ers all this time. He's showing that. Kyle Shanahan flat out did not know what to do on Sunday night against not a very good Broncos team. It wasn't a very good Broncos team. And basically, you put, oh God, you Jimmy Garoppolo lovers. Oh, what do y'all have to say now? I'll wait. The man was responsible for 2 turnovers and a safety that was the difference in the game. Hey, you never go full Orlovsky. He went Dan Orlovsky and went out the back of the end zone. And I don't know what was worse, him stepping out the back of the end zone or throwing the pick 6 that was negated because he stepped out the back of the end zone. Now, my issue is all these people who love Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy gives us the best chance to win. I feel so vindicated right now because you look stupid right now. And everything that I've been saying is right. Because I said, just wait. Just wait. Trey Lance is out. Jimmy's back in. They give the 49ers the best chance to win. Deebo Samuel was wide open. What up, Titus? Deebo Samuel was wide open in the first quarter, streaking up the sideline. Jimmy Garoppolo did not even see him. Come back to the same play. Deebo Samuel's wide open. We're streaking up the sideline. If Jimmy Garoppolo hits him in stride, but guess what? It was a pass over 10 yards, and you know how he is. So he underthrows it. Deebo makes the catch, but that could have easily been a doggone touchdown. Okay? He fumbles a snap, which he loses. He falls on the ball and loses the ball under the pile. Then he throws a boneheaded interception in the double coverage that gets batted up in the air. And that's an interception. Not to mention all the other turnover-worthy plays that he made that just fortunately they dropped or they just flat out missed. Kyle Shanahan is at fault. Jimmy Garoppolo is at fault. And guess what? We got nothing else. It's time to press the panic button. The starting running back is out for the greater part of the year. The second running back is out for the greater part of the year. Kyle Shanahan cannot game plan to save his life. He can't make a correction. He can game plan, but if something happens, he has no contingency. He does not know how to make adjustments. You put Deebo Samuel in the backfield every time he's going to get the ball.
And you're missing your left tackle.
Oh, I'm not through. I'm not through. Trent Williams is out for a month. Trent Williams is out for a month. The offensive line was already egregious. But now your best lineman is gone for a month. Okay?
Good job, John Lynch.
Don't get me started on John Lynch. Don't even.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Brandon?
He's stoking the flames. He's stoking the flames. But all of this, I was going to talk about it anyway. I don't need nobody to tell me what to say. I'm just going to talk about this anyway. This team is in trouble. You have literally a God-tier defense that is going to be wasted this season. D'Amico Ryans is coaching his tail off. He's missing his starting free safety, who's one of the captains of the defense, but still, it's a top-tier defense, and it's being wasted on this egregiously bad offense. Egregiously bad offense. That's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. Kyle Shanahan's calling your plays. Your best play caller is the head coach in Miami now. We're seeing that now. Shanahan was getting credit for somebody else's work.
No quarterback.
Hey man, I don't need no help. I got this. I don't need no help. You don't have a quarterback. You got a bum I've been saying is a bum for probably the last, 2-3 seasons. And nobody, oh man, you tripping, huh? Jimmy took y'all. He took y'all to this. He led y'all to that. He didn't lead a damn thing.
You lost your left guard in the offseason.
Hey
man, what you doing?
I don't need no help. I got this. Best believe. Please believe. I got this. Leave this alone. I got this. Okay, you did nothing to really address your offensive line in the offseason. Okay,
Your
you lost
center
2.
retired.
You gonna let me finish? I got this.
Let me
You
ask you a
didn't.
question.
Is that huh?
Would you line up Kittle and your fullback Kyle in the slot and line up Debo at running back at times? Or is that something that's already been done?
No, that's the point. Every time Debo
See how
Samuel,
creative I am?
you gonna let me talk, man.
Kyle Shanahan,
Every
baby.
time you line Debo Samuel up in the backfield, he gets the ball. It's not a decoy. If a junior high defense can see that Debo Samuel's about to get the ball. Why? Because you lined him up in the backfield. They'll never line him up in the backfield as a decoy and go another direction. No. Oh, Debo in the backfield, we're going to crash whatever direction he's headed. That's Kyle Shanahan. And then you got a bum for a quarterback. And now you don't have a good offensive line. So if there's a team that's going to press a panic button, it needs to be the 49ers. And you waste the defense. The 49ers going to lose a lot of 11 to 10 games because the defense going to hold, but they're going to get tired in the fourth quarter after all the 3 and outs. Do you know the 49ers were 1 for 10 in third down against the Broncos? 1 for 10 third down.
My goodness. Hey, look, man, I don't think they heard you in the back. Can you say that a little bit louder, please?
They were 1 for 10 on third down conversions in this game. And I'm sick and tired of people defending Kyle Shanahan, and I'm damn sure tired of people defending Jimmy Garoppolo. It's time for a change. We've seen this movie before. We know how it ends. Stop. Tobey and Wigway from Houston, Texas, rapper from Houston, Texas. He got a song called Big Cap. Stop the cap. Stop it. Okay? And I'm done. That's the team that needs to panic. Because there's no way to fix it until next season.
All right.
Hopefully maybe Kyle Shanahan will get fired and we can hire Sean Payton or something. I don't know.
Who needs to panic?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Eric. Here's the thing that's going to be a problem for y'all. This team, right, as constructed, has been here before. It knows how to deal with this. It knows how to deal with these injuries. It knows what Jimmy can and can't do. You still got Debo. You still got Ayuk. You got all those guys.
But you don't have to play calling.
I understand that. But look at the rest of the NFC and what has transpired through these 3 weeks. Who's to say that y'all at the end of the season still will be there to go? That's what's saving Kyle Shanahan. Because at the end of the day, look at all the teams. Okay, just take a moment. Think about all the teams in the NFC that we thought were going to, kind of be juggernaut outside of Tampa, right? Look at Green Bay. Look at what they're going through in Green Bay. Okay. Although I didn't really believe it, but people had talked about the Cowboys, but look at what they're going through right now. So outside of Tampa, outside of Philly,
Tampa's not that good.
But that's what you're making my point. By default, you guys probably will still be there at the end because it's familiar. It might not be favorable, but it is familiar what y'all going through right now.
I'm going to let you finish because I'm going to address that.
No,
go ahead. Okay, so the first thing about the difference between San Francisco and Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay has Tom Brady. That's the first thing. Second thing is Tampa Bay has gone into these last few games without their 3 best receivers. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and lost my train of thought. Julio Jones. Okay. They're going to get those guys back. They're going to get those guys back, and they still have Tom Brady as a quarterback. Those things can be fixed.
Y'all
talk about the Raiders. Those things, the issues that the Raiders have can be fixed with a schematic change. Okay? What's going on in San Francisco cannot be fixed other than just wiping the slate clean and starting over, which basically you wasting a championship level defense. They're going to be out there on the time of possession, if I'm not mistaken, not last night, but the other night with the Broncos. I think the Broncos had the ball for like 40 minutes almost. They had the ball for 40 minutes. I don't care if you're the 2000 Ravens, you're going to get tired if you out there on the field for 40 minutes. You could be the 85 Bears. If you out there for 40 minutes, you're going to be tired because the offense is not giving you a damn thing because your play calling is horrific and your quarterback is trash. Every time you get in 3rd and long, cancel Christmas. So the difference is when the Buccaneers get in 3rd and long, you still got Tom Brady. You still got Julio Jones. You still got Mike Evans coming off suspension. You still got Chris Godwin, who's probably going to play this week. That's the difference. The Packers have a very good receiving core. They green, they raw, but they have a very good receiving core. Yet still got Aaron Rodgers. Those are easy fixes. These are not easy fixes in San Francisco, and that's the problem. That's what's going on. These things cannot be fixed. We got nobody after Jimmy Garoppolo. That's it. So that's why that's the difference, Tristan. That's the point I'm making.
All right. Well,
I hear you.
So my team, who should be panicking right now, man, the AFC champion, Cincinnati Bengals.
So you
1 and 2.
Okay.
I don't even really call
and I think I know where you're
ahead.
going, but go ahead.
What you say, T?
I don't really call them a panic, but not for the reason that you think. But go ahead.
I think they should panic because you don't have an offensive line. Dallas proved that. And you can sit here. I mean, look, I respect Joe Burrow a whole lot. Joe Mixon's a very good running back. They have a very good trio of wide receivers, and they have a good tight end. But if you can't protect your quarterback, a lot of stuff is not going to matter at all.
Absolutely. I agree.
It's just not. The game, and I don't know why teams still haven't figured this out yet, or maybe they just, wanted to ignore it. The game is truly lost, won or lost in the trenches.
Absolutely.
Offensive line, defensive line, you got to have it. Offensive line, you need a good offensive line coach. You need a good blocking and pass protection scheme. And you need at least 2 to 3 linemen who is at least above average. Okay?
I agree.
Defensive line, you need 1 or 2 studs. And then it would be great if you have depth and for a serious rotation. The game is won and lost in the trenches, and the Bengals are really going to be hurting this year because they don't have an offensive line.
And the sad part about it is that they've made an attempt to address it. They tried their best to address it, and it just didn't work out for them.
No.
And it's not like they were like, well, we ain't gonna do nothing. We're just gonna go do the same thing and expect different results. They didn't do that. They knew they had an issue with the offensive line.
Exactly.
And they went and they tried to do something, and it's just not working.
No.
Yeah.
They signed the offensive lineman, sent to the right guard and right tackle. They drafted left guard and said, hey, this should work. And that's it. And it's going to hurt them long term. It is going to hurt them long term. Whenever Cincinnati's offense is on point, you all better enjoy it because I don't think this thing's going to last too much longer. That's my personal opinion on that.
The guys got to get paid eventually.
Guys got to get paid eventually, but also if this offense line continues to be as bad as it is, like Trisha said last week, this could be another Andrew Luck situation, and I would hate for that. I would hate to see that for Joe Burrow.
I hate to see them waste his talent.
But you know what? Again, that's what happens when you don't build your team correctly. I mean, drafting Jamar Chase, very, very good wide receiver coming out of college, very good. But you didn't dress your offensive line because he got hurt his rookie year and he was out for the season. And you said I would take Jamar Chase over Rashawn Slater and Penei Sewell.
We can't grade it like that because Jamar Chase was literally seconds away from winning them the Super Bowl.
I understand Trishan. Hold on, whoa. I understand that. Rashawn Slater, up until he got injured, has been a very good left tackle in the NFL.
I hear you.
He has been a very good left tackle in the NFL, and the goal should be to always protect your quarterback. And we just all agreed that you got to win or lose. I mean, you win or lose in the trenches. You had a problem. Even if you didn't win Penei Sewell, you had another offensive tackle to choose, and that was Rashawn Slater. Rashawn Slater was the same guy when he was in college. He shut down Chase Young. And then when the Commanders played the Chargers last year, the Commanders ended up flipping Chase Young away from Rashawn Slater because he was shutting him down again. So,
now,
like I said, I get what you're saying about Jamar
Chase. What a caveat about that,
Penei Sewell and Rashawn Slater both out. But you got to build your team.
Yeah, no, I'm not poo-pooing anything that you're saying, but
I'm not poo-pooing either. But I'm looking at the fact that Jamar Chase almost won them the Super Bowl. I can't look at it and say, well, they should have done this, they should have done that when Jamar Chase almost won them the Super Bowl.
But let me ask you a question. We also agreed to, well, not a question, but let me say this. We also agreed to that there were times that Burrow had a couple more seconds in the pocket. He would have been able to hit some passes. What is that?
That's true. But I don't even think they would have been there if it wasn't for Jamar Chase being there. I don't even think they would have been there. That's just me. That's my thought on it. Like I can't fault a draft pick that worked. It's hard for me to argue on that. A draft pick that worked out.
I agree with Tristan because it's kind of like, okay, it'd be different if you draft a guy instead of this offensive lineman and he turned out to be just nothing, But Jamar Chase, didn't he win Rookie of the Year?
He won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
he didn't even have to be nothing.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
If he was average, it would have been a fail.
Yeah. So, and we hear what you're saying, Brandon. We're not saying,
what you're saying, yes.
Yeah, but yeah, man. And then again, they circled back around and said, we know we have offensive line issues. We know that that's a problem. We understand that, and we're going to address it. It's just that
they just addressed wrong.
They just addressed it wrong, and they're going to have problems with how powerful the AFC is this year. They're going to have some problems. I don't know. Zach Taylor's going to have to coach his butt off to overcome these deficiencies with the offensive line.
And that's hard.
It's hard. Is it possible? Yes. Is it hard? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. So I understand you saying press the panic button, but I just I feel like hell. They got to the Super Bowl knowing they had a bad offensive line.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. If
you feel me?
I don't know if that's going to work again 2 years in a row. I just don't know.
And I hear you. Because doing the same thing, expecting different results is the sign of insanity. Trust me, I'm a Niners fan. I know. So I mean, yeah, man. It's there's some teams moving on. There's some teams that are playing better than we thought they would, but the jury's still out on. And just to be really short about it, the Bears, the Lions.
Yeah, the Bears are 2-1. I see the Bears are 2-1.
The Bears are 2-1.
The Bears are 2-1. Trish, I just looked at it. I saw 2-1. I was like, whoa.
Hear what I'm asking. Y'all saying the Bears are 2-1. Heard y'all. I said, we're saying that the Bears are playing well?
No. Oh. Hold on. Pump your brakes.
Oh.
I said the jury's still out because those were not quality wins.
I don't even care about the wins. How they don't look like 2-1.
Those 2 wins are ugly wins, and it was really more about the other team not doing what they were supposed to do than them going out and winning.
Literally by the grace of God.
Yes. So now the difference is, now you look at the difference between, say, the Lions and the Bears. The Lions are out there, they putting heads to bed. Like, they don't quite come up right on some of these games or whatever. But when they finally put it all together, I think Jared Goff is probably playing the best football of his career right now. I'm not saying he's superlative. Let me be clear when I say this, so nobody can say that I'm saying Jared Goff is the man. I'm not saying that. Please hear me now. I'm not saying that. But as far as his career is concerned, this is probably the best football he's playing his career right now.
Yeah, he doing work.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and are the Lions going to win a division? No, they're not going to win a division. But like we were saying before, they're going to win a lot more games than people give them credit for. They're going to jump up and sneak up on some people because, that's just the Lions. You cannot put the Lions as an automatic win anymore on your schedule. You can't pencil that in as a win. You don't know what you finna get because they come at you hard. And it's like, if you're unprepared and you go in there like, oh, yeah, this is the Lions, you're going to get punched in the mouth. That's the style of football that they play. And they got an attitude. They playing with a chip on their shoulder. And they keep that chip on their shoulder. They're going to keep – they're going to win some more games.
Ask the Commanders.
They had the Commanders this week. No. Is that – no, that's – they don't play the Commanders this week, do they?
Who, the Lions?
Oh, you said ask the Commanders.
Ask the Commanders.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Because I think I picked against them. And you know what? There's a couple of teams I'm going to be very reluctant to pick again against this year unless it's just nah, man, y'all not going to win that one. But there's a couple of teams that I'm like reluctant. I look at the Lions now. I don't be like automatically, highlighting the other team. Because, man, they've been like teams like the Lions, Miami, Jacksonville, they've been messing up my picks bad. I still was over 500 this week, by the way. But they've been messing up my picks, for real.
Well, I tell you what, a team that's performing better than what their record is the Houston Texans, man, being 0-2-1.
Yeah. Shout out to Lovey, man.
Lovey Smith.
Lovey Smith is showing that he should not have been fired in Chicago.
Shout out to Lovey.
There should not have been a huge gap in him becoming a head coach after he got fired from Chicago because he just knows how to coach football.
You talking about coaching.
He has, I'm not going to say nothing, but he doesn't have what a lot of teams have in the NFL as far as talent, the amount of talent. And he, like I said, they're 0-2-1, but they are outperforming that 0-2-1 record.
Yeah. They're playing way better football. You watch a Houston game, you expect to see an egregious mess on the field, and you're not seeing that. You're seeing some competent football, and Tristan's going to agree with what I'm about to say right now. Davis Mills is a good quarterback.
Hello, I wanted him.
Davis Mills. Hello. People going to get mad when I say that, but you are not watching the Texans play. Davis Mills is a good quarterback. No, Troy. He said Troy says we need a whole nother team. No.
Troy. No. The Houston Texans are rebuilding. They are rebuilding as a franchise.
From
and hopefully, like hold on. Just like Trisha said last week, hopefully they give Lovie Smith a long leash to build his team in his vision. That's what they need to do.
And that's the problem.
They need to give Lovie Smith as much time as he needs to make this team what he thinks they should be, because the AFC is strong, but a lot of these AFC teams are going to collapse over the next couple off seasons. And as they collapsing, if Lovie Smith is building, they're going to be a strong team, just like how Detroit was last year. Matter of fact, the Houston Texans this year are what Detroit was last year.
Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was about to say. They're a tough team that plays hard football.
Yes.
They're not going to have a winning record. But if you're watching the games, you're realizing you're playing a team that's not finna go away.
They're going to punch
and
you
here's the
in
thing.
the mouth.
The only thing that's holding back Houston is the same thing that might hold back Jacksonville, and that's management. That's the thing.
Yes.
Management.
Yes.
Historically, Houston is a badly managed team, a badly managed organization.
Historically.
And it's not just on the football side either. It's also on the
everything.
Yeah, just everything. Period.
Yeah, only thing they do good is that PR department. They
don't do good in PR. They got late a couple years
ago.
I'm telling
you, I live in Houston. They're very good about, at advertising and PR and all that. They're excellent. That's about the only thing that you can hang your hat on and bet money on. But what you said, Brandon, was early about they got to give Lovey a long leash. If they are smart, they're going to leave him alone and let him build this team. You got pieces. You got Derek Stingley. You got Petrie, the safety. You got Kirksey, the linebacker, who's very good. You got you got Nico Collins, who's a very underrated receiver. You just added OJ Howard, who's a severely underrated tight end.
Yes.
And then you got Davis Mills to build on. Is he Deshaun Watson? Absolutely not. He plays a different style of football. But is he a good quarterback? Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Like, and for people that's like, oh, he ain't all that. You're looking at the box score and not watching the games.
Thank you.
Yep.
Watch this guy play. You're like, okay, wow. If you know football and you watch him play, you're gonna be like, oh,
there's some stuff here.
Yeah.
And Davis Mills has a good offensive coordinator and Pep Hamilton. I think Pep Hamilton is going to continue to build with him.
They have something to build on. So that's another team that's a team that's, hey man, they could be good. And Brandon, you hit the nail on the head when you said the Houston Texans this year are what Detroit was last year. And Detroit's is better this year than they were last year. And they're going to keep getting better. And here's the great thing. You build through the draft.
Thank you.
You ain't got to spend as much money.
Exactly.
As far as building free agents. You got a sustainable source of players, and you ain't got to pay a lot of money.
Thank you.
Teams that go out and buy a team, they're going to be good for 1 year, then it's going to fall apart in a year or two.
Yep. Always.
Yep. But when you build through the draft,
yes,
you can be sustainably good for several years, and you can slowly layer it. And the next thing you know, out of nowhere, here's Houston, here's Detroit. If the management leaves the coaching alone and give them players that they want.
Lovie Smith has to be there for 3 to 4 more seasons.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be there.
Yep.
I mean, if they're smart, they'll do it.
Yep.
Hey, but you know what? You said the key word, if.
So, all right. So let's get into our picks. Pando's picks for the week. Last week I was 9-7. Did way better than week 2. Week 2 was a disaster because we had a whole lot of upsets. So I'm gonna make these picks. We can talk about them. I'm not picking against the Dolphins anymore. I got the Dolphins over the Bengals. Honestly, right now. Yeah, I got the Dolphins over the Bengals. I learned my lesson. I'm not, and watch, they're gonna lose just because I picked watch. But I got the Dolphins over the Bengals.
You're gonna be upset.
Mike McDaniel's doing a great job. Now they do have to go up to Cincinnati and play them, so that might have some play, have something to do with it because the Cincinnati fans are crazy too. But we're gonna see because that's another test. They've had 3 tests in a row. This will be that third one. They had the Ravens. They won that. They had the Bills. They won that. They got the Bengals, who are the AFC champions. Regardless of their record, they're the AFC champions. So we're going to see. And that's going to really legitimize them if they go out there, especially if they win in a dominant fashion. But I have the Dolphins over the Bengals next week. Okay?
I agree.
The overseas game, I have the Vikings versus the Saints. I got the Saints bouncing back against the Vikings. I don't believe in the Vikings yet, and I believe more in the Saints than I do the Vikings. The Saints, that roster's too stacked. They got to get rid of mental errors. They stop the mental errors. They can be the team that everybody's expecting them to be. So I got the Saints bouncing back. They're wearing the black helmets. If that means anything.
Eric, real quick, is this the first week that we have international play? Were they over in London?
Yes, this is the first international game of the year.
Okay.
Okay. Give me the so I have the Saints over the Vikings. Give me the Cowboys over the Commanders. Okay. Now, this one could be a close one. Tristan is a Commanders fan. He says no. I got the Cowboys over the Commanders. Dallas played a really tough Giants team, which is another team I forgot about that is actually playing better than we thought they would. They just got to get out of their own way. If the Giants can put together 60 minutes of football, they can win a lot of games that they're not supposed to.
Washington's going to get annihilated.
The Giants have a bad offensive line, and that's going to be shown later on during the season.
And you're right. But here's the thing: the play calling, the first 3 quarters of the game, the play calling for.
Giants, I agree with you on that one. I'm not going to fight you on that one.
Yeah,
the offensive line is bad.
They're coached well. Because
yes, no,
what I was looking at was they knew that their offensive line was horrible. So the plays that were made, the called were to get the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands as quickly as possible, move in the pocket so he has a little bit more time, so we could get Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence off him. Now they still got their sacks; they're going to do that, but the play calling is pretty good. It started to unravel around the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter. So if the Giants can sustain that, I ain't supposed to be talking about the Giants, but they gave Dallas hell. Now, I do have the Cowboys over the Commanders, but I don't think it's going to be an annihilation. I don't think it'll be a dominating game. All bets are off in especially NFC East divisional games. All bets are off on the.
Look at my face.
That's a Commanders fan, folks. I'm not going. You know what? I'm not going to argue with you. That's your team. You know your team best. So
you know what? I can agree with Tristan, but I could also see the game being close. It's just I don't know what Dallas is going to do yet. I just don't know what Dallas is going to do. And there's a good point right here. Dallas pass rusher is awesome. Dan Quinn has built a great front seven.
And guess what's not awesome?
Your offensive line, who gave up 9 sacks to Philadelphia. So that's why. So based on what Tristan's saying, I mean, I can see Dallas blowing out Washington, but I also can see what Eric is saying, because if Eric is basically what Eric is, I think what Eric is coming from is not only is it a division game, but if Scott Turner has any kind of brains whatsoever, he saw what the Giants did to Dallas.
He don't.
If he can do something similar with Washington, then that can slow down.
Allowed 4 sacks in the first quarter alone, and not an air adjustment was made.
I understand that. But see, I saw something on Twitter where 4 out of 9 sacks in the game was because Carson Wentz held the ball too long. You got to get the ball out of those.
3 out of those 9 sacks was because Carson held the ball too long. But them first 4, that was offensive line. I watched the game. I'm trying to tell you.
No, I understand. I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. But can you get the ball out of Carson Wentz's hands fast? That's my question.
Scott Turner has to do that.
It's about scheme. You can.
Just real quick. Yes. They place him on short-term injury reserve.
He's going to miss this game.
He might be back after this game. T-Money, you know more.
Yeah, after this game, the first 4 games he's not playing. So unfortunately, he's not going to play this game.
Right.
Yeah. So you can nullify a good pass rush with the right schemes.
Yeah.
Because
right play calling.
Honestly, early on in the game, the Giants was doing what they had to do with that same scheme. I'm like, Daniel Jones was getting the ball out of his hand in like 1 point. It's under 2 seconds, basically. It was like 1.9 or something like that. I got to look at the analytics, but it was working. You had a lot of drop passes, you know, Daniel Jones being Daniel Jones at certain plays. But if you can be accurate and you guys catch the ball, I mean, it could be a closer game than what we think it is. And let's go ahead and be honest. Dallas's offense ain't killing like that, because what holds Dallas offense back the most is the coaching. Kellen Moore is one of their biggest. That's the 12th man on the defense for the other team. Okay.
It's that and penalties.
I'm glad y'all got more confidence.
Tyler Smith is a false start machine. Okay, he is a false start machine, and I don't think Brandon you ain't gonna dispute me on that.
No, I'm not. He's a physical left tackle, but he has false start problems.
Yeah, so you got I don't think it's gonna be a runaway game. I do have Dallas winning this one, but I don't think it's gonna be a runaway.
I think depending on Scott Turner, I think it can go. It would let us know how the game is gonna go.
Okay, that's fair. I got the Steelers over the Jets. Now,
wow.
Yeah, I do.
Hold on.
You got who over who?
The Steelers over the Jets. Steelers over the Jets.
No, sir.
You got the Jets winning with.
Can you pick going start?
You know what? I still don't, and I love Robert Saleh, but I still don't trust them. I don't trust the Jets.
Is Kenny Pickett going to start? Because if Kenny Pickett not starting,
and I hear what you're saying. It's Mitch Trubisky. It's Mitch Trubisky. I hear what you're saying.
Did you see the performance he just put up?
Yeah.
If Kenny Pickett not starting, the Steelers are losing that game.
Okay, so I'm gonna change.
I already know Kenny Pickett's not starting, but I'm trying to think from the Jets perspective.
So I'm gonna put down here Tristan's pick, and I'm trusting Tristan on this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and go with Jets over Steelers. I feel like because the Jets defense is good. The Jets defense is very good.
If Mitchell Trubisky is starting, the Jets are winning that game.
Okay. All right. So that's what it is. I got the Giants over.
Did y'all see what the Steelers defense looks like without any pass rush, i.e. TJ Watt?
No.
Okay.
You do have a Keller Witherspoon out there on the corner, so I'm just saying.
But with no pass rush, what's happening?
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna say so that's Jets over Steelers. Okay. I got the Giants over the Bears.
Yeah.
Give me the Giants over the Bears.
Yes.
Okay. Because again,
hold on. I'm gonna say Wink Martindale's a defensive coordinator, and he's about to send the kitchen sink to Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Wink Martindale is the defensive coordinator, and he's about to send the kitchen sink on Justin Fields, and Fields gonna probably get sacked 4 or 5 times.
Now I feel bad for being hurt. Sterling
Shepard.
Yeah, towards ACL.
Yeah, he did. He's out for the season.
Yep. Okay, didn't know that part.
Yes.
But I still got the Giants. I still got the Giants over there because Saquon Barkley is back.
Yes.
He wasn't right last year. He wasn't right, but
he's back with a vengeance.
He's back. He's back to being what we thought he was going to be.
Yes.
And because I trust the play calling, the offensive play calling of the Giants, as long as they don't get away from it, because that's what I heard them in the Dallas game. They got away from it. They were moving the ball very easy with those quick passes in the running game.
And it was tempo football.
Yeah. So if they can do that, they can keep Justin Fields off the field. And again, I'm not sold on the Bears yet. I'm just not sold on the Bears yet. I don't believe.
I ain't either.
I believe that 2-1 record is an aberration. I mean, you beat the Texans and you beat the Niners in the rain.
It's not even an aberration.
Yeah,
it's a grace of God.
You heard it here first. Okay. So moving on, this is my Colts versus the Titans. I got Colts over the Titans.
Yes.
Okay. I still, even though Eberflus is not there anymore, I still think that Colts defense is pretty solid. I
think Gus Bradley's the defensive coordinator,
that's still very good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you still have DeForest Buckner in the middle. Yep. You still have Darius Leonard at linebacker.
Yep.
You got a slew of good defensive backs who are not household names, but they're very good if you sit and watch them play.
That's because they are built for that scheme that they use, that zone scheme.
Especially if Tannehill is starting. Now, if they decide to start Malik Willis, things could change. I'm just saying. But as of right now,
the Bills are signing it just came on my feed. Xavier Rhodes.
Yes, they did.
Xavier Rhodes.
Yes, they did.
Who
It
the
came
fuck?
out 10 minutes ago. In the last 10
Okay, so
minutes.
here's the thing, though. Well, man, I'm gonna get to that. Xavier Rhodes don't play safety. The issue in Buffalo is safety, not corner. Their corners that they have already.
But I think one of those corners has safety experience. They might move him up to let Xavier Rhodes play.
Now let me ask you a question. What kind of coverage does are the Bills mainly? Are they mainly a zone team?
Man.
Or are they mainly a man
They
team?
play a lot of man.
Man.
Play a lot of man.
Can Xavier Rhodes hang a man these days?
These days, I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And that's a huge question mark.
Because
a couple years ago, absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely. And because when he was in Minnesota, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was
in Minnesota with Mike Zimmer. Zimmer knows DBs. He may not be good with offense, but he knows DBs. I said Eberflus knows linebackers. Zimmer knows DBs.
Well, we'll see. But we kind of jumped the gun on that one. So, but give me Colts over Titans. Give me the Chargers over the Texans. Keenan Allen's playing this week.
Okay.
Keenan Allen's back.
You said who?
Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
Chargers over Texans.
Give me Chargers over Texans.
I don't even know why.
And Asante Samuel's out there just lurking. That kid is playing his butt off. So Chargers over Texans.
That's a definite.
And actually, that's my stone cold. That is my stone cold. My stone cold
block.
If the Chargers
block of the week. All right.
The Chargers lose to the Texans.
That's my stone cold. Okay.
If the Chargers lose to the Texans,
that's problems.
Because
guess what? That'll be another AFC West team losing to an AFC North team.
Someone has to go down.
South team.
Someone has to go down. Someone got to get fired.
I agree.
You can't do that.
We'll see. Agree. So give me the Browns over the Falcons.
Oh.
Give me the Browns over the Falcons.
I'm telling you, hey, look. NFL media loves Cordell Patterson so much. They love him.
Yeah. I just don't think that they're gonna the Browns are proving that, hey man, we're gonna hold down the fort until we can get Deshaun back.
Until Deshaun comes in.
Yep. and then it's we really about to act a fool. We just trying to hold things together right now.
Yeah. By the way, Myles Garrett cleared concussion protocol after that serious accident where
Myles Garrett's gonna play. So there you go.
Oh, Myles Garrett wasn't missing that game.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you gonna have some problems, issues, and situations.
You realize even when they lose, like the Browns fans aren't upset. They're just like, Deshaun's coming.
If they can keep their head, it's kind of like you treading water, and you know the Coast Guard's coming, and you like, if we can tread water until this Coast Guard cutter gets here, then we really finna act a fool when this boat shows.
I mean, they're not even concerned. It's
they
just
not
like
tripping.
A breeze.
Yeah, they are not tripping. They like, I'll wait till Deshaun get here. Because what the statement is being made, if we can win with Jacoby Brissett, what you think gonna happen when we get Deshaun?
Man, what?
Thank you. Yeah. So give me the Browns over the Falcons. Here's my pick'em game of the week coming up. The Jags versus the Eagles. This is my pick'em.
I'm not surprised.
Okay. And here's why. The Eagles so far are living up to the hype.
Okay? Yeah, they are.
The Jaguars are exceeding expectations.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
something's got to give.
Right now, we got the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object.
Something's got to give.
Something gonna have to give. Everybody, if you are a football purist, whether you're a fan of any of these teams or not, this is a game you gotta watch.
Yes.
This is a game you gotta watch because this is gonna be a statement game for one of these teams. Are they as good as we thought they were? That's the question that's going to get asked for this game. Are they as good as we thought they were? Now, if it ends with a 3-point game differential, we still don't know. Okay? But We about to find if somebody gets dominated, then we know, okay, they wasn't as good as we thought they were. You know, but the jury is still going to be out if we get to a point where it's like a 3-point game or 7, 28-21, 28-31, something crazy like that. We still won't know because both of them balled out. Okay. So we going to see. But that's my pick 'em game because that joker could go either way.
All right.
But my pick right now, and this is only because they the home team, is the Eagles. And that's the only reason why I'm choosing the Eagles.
That's going to be tough for a second-year quarterback, first-year head coach.
Vegas is going with the Eagles. I think it's like 2.5 or 3, something like that.
Something like that.
It's going to be tough going to the link. And I don't know how they're going to receive Doug Peterson when he runs out there.
Hey, man, these folks booed Santa Claus, man.
Look, hey, don't get me started.
These people crazy, man.
No, don't get me started.
I know where you going. You finna talk about Michael Irvin, but yeah, these people crazy.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. That's a tough place to play. Like I said, for a second-year quarterback, first-year head coach. And I mean, he has coaching experience, but this is first year with Jacksonville, so it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
But that's my pick 'em game, and I'm only picking Eagles because I gotta pick somebody, and I'm going with the Eagles because they're the home team. That's it.
Right.
That's the only reason I'm picking them. I don't think these guys are better than these guys. I think it's just doing that.
Hey,
okay.
I'm looking forward to the game because if I recall in my brain, this might be the first time that Jalen will probably see a legitimate pass rush. If I'm thinking of it.
Washington, Minnesota. Who else they beat?
Washington, Minnesota. What was their first game?
The Lions.
Yeah, the Lions.
Now Hutchinson is a dog, but Hutchinson doing it by himself.
But it's just him. Well, I'm not saying like him by himself, but it's him by himself.
Right. Yeah. Jacksonville got a squad of blitzers. This is going to be the test right here.
Yeah, you got Josh Allen. You got
the rookie from Georgia.
Yeah, Walker. No, not Walker. Is it Walker?
I think it is Walker.
Walker, yeah.
Yeah, so
was it Trayvon Walker? Was it Trayvon Walker?
Trayvon Walker.
I think that's it. Trayvon Walker.
Yeah. Trayvon Walker. So we finna find out. And these guys are fast. They not just we big uglies refrigerator size guys. These guys are fleet of foot.
Yes.
So they can chase down a mobile quarterback.
Yes, they can.
Okay?
And I'm very interested to see how they defend Jalen Hurts on the run.
We're gonna see.
I'm interested.
But that's my pick 'em game. Then I honestly, there's another one here. We got Bills at Ravens.
Ooh.
That's another
When I say I'm sitting down,
yes, sir,
to watch that game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cause Greg Roman must have heard us talking and dogging him out because he's like, you know what? I'm gonna start going to the receivers more often.
You see him?
Yeah, because beforehand it was like, they're gonna run like a 4 tight end set.
Some of the play calling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He must have heard it. Like, they talk about me on Just a Fan podcast. I gotta do something, mate.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, but so because of that, Lamar Jackson is an MVP candidate in week 3 right now.
He might be better now than he was in his MVP.
And because of the offensive play calling has changed.
Do you realize that he might get a second, not only a second MVP, but a second unanimous? Because right now everybody's saying it's him.
Yeah.
Josh Allen lost it on that blunder. We'll see how he recovers.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not counting Josh out no more. I'm not counting him out now.
I'm not going to count him out, but.
And Patrick Mahomes got to bounce back from the Colts game.
Yeah.
The Colts loss.
Which I'm going to get to in a minute.
It's Lamar Jackson and everybody else.
Yeah, as of right now, you're right, Tristan. As of right now, it's Lamar Jackson and everybody else chasing his on his heels. So he has been losing. Yes, Way Weary says he is him. Yes, he is him.
He is him.
And hey, before I go to the next thing, pay him.
Mm.
Oh,
Hey, look,
pay him.
Tag me in. Tag me in.
Look. Go, Trisha, go.
Y'all realize that if this man goes through 17 games and he's healthy on the tear that he's on, the floor is $300 million.
Yep.
The floor is $300 million.
Yes.
You're looking at a guy, not only is he the quarterback, not only is he your best player, but he literally, I think it's on Pro Football Focus, one of them, he has the highest win percentage for the team, meaning he swings the pendulum for his team more than any other player on any other team. The person that had that title for a while was Aaron Rodgers. Lamar Jackson swings the pendulum for wins and losses for his franchise more than any other player on any other team. So if he, God willing, if he is healthy through the 17 games and he gives you another MVP performance, another unanimous MVP performance, I don't even care what's going on playoff-wise. 17 games and he's healthy, you got to pay him. $300 million is the minimum.
They're going to pay him $300 million floor, like you said. They're going to give him the highest paid, and so per year, guarantee money and signing bonus money. They're going to have to make him the highest paid in all four categories. So that $300 million, like you said, floor, APY, guarantee money, signing bonus money.
Yes.
You got to pay him.
They're going to blow it up. They're going to blow it up and back up the Brinks truck, 5 of them.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do with the team. You got to pay that man.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so moving on. So yeah, that's if there was a second pick'em game, it'd be that Bills and Ravens game. Bills still have
two. Just make them 2. That's fine.
So yeah, I got 2 pick'em games right there. Jags and Eagles, Bills and Ravens. I have the Ravens because the pace that the pace that the Ravens are on right now, they're on a feverish pace to just act a fool. And the Bills are still incredible. I see them bouncing back. So there's a probability that the Bills could win that. They could bounce back from that loss. Because let's be honest, if Josh Allen doesn't one-hop that last pass to the corner of the end zone, we're talking about the Bills win that game. So it wasn't like, they just fell apart. They was right there. Josh Allen he made a mistake. So that game could go either way.
A mistake. Hold on, let me be clear. I don't even think it was a mistake. I think what happened was that you're playing in Miami, 100 degrees, humidity. I think the ball just slipped out of his hand.
That weather whooped their tail.
I just think
you had a lot of cramps. You had a lot of guys just they look sluggish in that heat. And that Miami, they had training camp in it. They like, let's go.
I think his palms got a little sweaty, and it just slipped.
I can believe
he wasn't having none of that.
But so yeah, that I got the Ravens. If gun to my head, Ravens, because they're the home team. But it could go either way. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It could go either way. So give me the Panthers over the Cardinals. I don't think the Panthers are very good, but I don't think the Cardinals are very good. But again, that's one of those.
Hey, that's a game of 2 terrible college coaches who are in the NFL
that should not have NFL coaching jobs.
Matt Rule versus Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury's claim to fame is that he coached Pat Mahomes in college. That's it.
And I'm hearing rumors that if Matt Rule's fired, college teams are going to be looking at him again.
Good Lord.
I know.
And that's where he belongs.
No, he don't belong at D1. He belongs in D3.
Cliff Kingsbury shouldn't have even been a good college coach. He wasn't a good college coach. And I don't know how, because you look like Ryan Gosling, you got a doggone head coaching job. Please. Okay, so the Cardinals are not that good, and the Panthers are not that good. But I'm going to err on the side of defense, and the Panthers have a better defense, and that's solely my only reason for picking the Panthers. Okay?
I got you.
That's it. That's it. So moving on, give me the Broncos over the Raiders. I think they're going to keep sliding unless Josh McDaniels makes some adjustments. Now, could the Raiders win it? Yeah, but Josh McDaniels.
Because we need to see how Denver takes a next step. If they take a next step,
here's the thing. This is a trend with these young offensive-minded coaches that we're seeing. I know everything. You can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna keep doing it the way I'm doing it. Okay, keep doing it the way you're doing it and keep losing. You have a lot of these coaches that's got that egotistical mentality. Everybody is telling you in the media, everybody's telling you, your fan base is telling you, hey man, you got to change it up. And I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And it's gonna depend on whether Josh McDaniels can look inside himself and say, you know what, I've been doing this wrong. I gotta change what I'm doing. And if he does and changes for the better, they can win a lot of games. But I look at Nathaniel Hackett. I don't think he's that good of a coach, but the one thing I can give him credit for is he knew, hey man, I'm in over my head. I need to hire a consultant to help me with these decisions, these game time decisions. I respect him for that.
Yes.
There's a lot of coaches that you need somebody and they say, hey man, don't run that. What you about to run? Don't call that play. What's wrong with you? So I kudos to him for that. You know, there's a lot of coaches in the league that need somebody on the sideline. Man, let me see that play. Wait, you about to run this? What's wrong with you? We need a lot of guys like in the booth. Yeah, so we need guys like that. There's another guy that needs that, Kyle Shanahan, but I'm gonna keep going. So yeah, I have the Broncos over the Raiders just because of coaching decision making. Give me the Packers over the Pats. They got to go to Lambeau. Mac Jones is out. They weren't very good with him anyway.
We're going to see the Patriots draft in the top 10 for the first time in years.
Yes, sir.
Wow. You know what? That's T.
Yes, sir.
T.
Yes, sir.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yo.
In over 2 decades, we're about to see them drafting in the top 10 of the draft.
Yes, sir.
T-Money.
My God.
And then here's the thing. Everybody's talking about, hey, man, the Packers going to win this game because Aaron Rodgers and the receivers are getting better chemistry. This is true, but people keep forgetting the Packers have a good defense. And the Packers have a good run game.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
And I don't think the Patriots they ain't going to be able to stop both.
Patriots don't have an offense, man. They don't have an offense. I've been saying that. We've been saying that all offseason, especially after we find out who the offensive coordinator is, quote unquote. Everybody on offense is complaining about him. Everybody. It's not just Mac Jones. Everybody on offense is complaining about Matt Patricia as being the offensive.
You have a defensive coordinator
who was a terrible head coach.
Calling the offensive plays.
Thank you.
You might as well go ahead and have some bleach on the rocks. I mean, just go on, use a toaster for a loofah in the bathtub. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Just, bruh.
Something told me that he was going to rue the day when Josh McDaniels decided to leave. Because you had no one to come after him.
You never developed anybody.
You shuffled. Think about this, guys. Think about this. Who's the last offensive coordinator you could think of outside of Josh McDaniels from the Patriots? You got to go all the way back to Charlie Wise.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wasn't Bill O'Brien an offensive coordinator for a little bit?
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien was a position coach.
No, I think he was OC.
Hold on. Wait.
From when Josh was gone for that little spell? Yeah. But think how long ago was that?
Also, you had to go there. Like, I don't give a lot of these guys credit as OCs when you coaching.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
And he was Yeah, but again, I don't give credit for that. When you coaching Tom Brady, you coaching Peyton Manning, you coaching Aaron Rodgers, you the OC for these guys. You're not working. You collected a check. You collected a check. Hey man, I think we need to run this, Aaron. Man, I ain't running that. Okay. Hey Peyton, this the play. We not running that. Omaha.
We're going and you know what? But you know what, Eric? Now that I'm really thinking about it, you're absolutely correct because we're looking at what Josh McDaniels going through.
Yeah.
You don't have Tom Brady. Look at what Charlie Wise went through when he went to Notre Dame
and became the head coach.
You didn't have Tom Brady.
Nope.
Look at what Bill O'Brien went through. You didn't have Tom Brady.
Nope.
Bill O'Brien been there.
And guess what? A lot of those defensive coordinators didn't do too much better when they became head coaches. Romeo Cornell, Eric Mangini.
It is historically fact that assistant coaches who leave New England fail miserably when they become head coaches.
Because your defensive coordinators didn't call anything because that was Belichick.
Thank you.
Your offensive coordinators didn't do anything because they had Tom Brady.
Thank you.
There's the guy on TikTok that does this. Yeah. But yeah, basically, yeah. So, but we're witnessing the demise of the Patriots. So I'm enjoying it because there was so many fake Patriots fans the last 20 years. I'm a Pats fan. Patriots, you ain't never. Shut up. You ain't no Patriots.
I only know two.
You're a Tom Brady fan.
Patriots fans.
Yeah, you're a Tom Brady fan.
You don't know nothing about the Patriots.
Where was you at when the Patriots was 1-15 every year? You know, where was you at then? But we finna go back to the days, by the way. So, anyway, moving on to my last couple of picks.
For a while.
Yeah, my last couple of picks. Give me the Chiefs over the Buccaneers. One, Pat Mahomes is always a bounce back guy after a loss. Pat Mahomes, excuse me, is a bounce back guy after a loss. And the Buccaneers, we got to see what their wide receiver situation is going to be. You got the top three receivers. Wow, he was out there throwing it to me the other night, Brady. I mean, it was, dude. Rashad Perryman, Jalen Darden, Gage, who's really meant to be a 3 or a 4. Cole Beasley, who they had just signed that week. Scotty Too Hotty. What I forgot what his name is. You know, I'm like, now it could be a really good game, and I want it to be. I want these guys to be healthy because he's going to have Evans back, but I hope Chris Godwin can play. And I hope Julio can play so we can really see a track meet that I think we're going to see.
Yes.
I want to see a good game. But I still got the Chiefs over the Bucs because the Bucs just can't quite get right. You know.
And their offensive line still not – still is shaky because I think the left tackle's still out. The interior
they got a backup center
from last year.
And I think the backup center got hurt.
So
if I'm not mistaken. So they going through it, man. They going through it. So give me the Chiefs over the Bucs. And my last game, the Monday night game, give me the Rams over the 49ers in a landslide. Yes, I said it.
All right, well.
Because Sean McVay is going to take out. It's kind of like you had your dad that whooped your tail for the longest. He had that belt, and now your dad's old in a wheelchair and can't move around, and you're just pushing him down the stairs. That's what Sean McVay about to do. Because the 49ers are down. The Rams ain't that good. Let me clarify. The Rams are not killing the game. But in this case, they're in a better position than San Francisco.
The 49ers going to win the division by default.
They're going to win it by default. You think the 49ers going to win this division?
It's not going to be Seattle, and it's not going to be Arizona.
Okay, so we're at the 129. We're at the 129.30 mark. Remember this one. I want it at the end of the season. We're going to come back and revisit this on September 27th. Tristan said the 49ers going to win the division. I'm a 49ers fan, and I don't think we're going to win the division. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that is another week of Just a Fan Podcast. We are currently live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you missed this, we are you can listen to us on all podcast platforms, Google, Apple, and Spotify. So I'm Brandon Williams, the Wildcat quarterback of this thing.
I'm the Hellraiser.
Eric Pando 316 right. Down below is a quarterback that runs this thing, Trish TV. Peace, everybody. Good night.